Hi everyone, welcome back to Ships at Sea. It's been a little while, but today I thought what we'd do is we'll go out in the Tier 3 fishing vessel Poseidon and we'll do some cod fishing, longline fishing. So we're just going to go across to the fishery, get ourselves some bait, shrimp for catching cod, and we'll just load up 20 of these. I think that will do. And we have got the remote hauler on this boat at the moment. The NPCs aren't going to be on this boat now because they haven't actually been implemented. All they do is stand there and cost me money. One minor update I've seen since I last played is they have done something with the UI, so it looks like switches should be highlighted differently. Yeah, I can just see it slightly lights up blue, slightly highlighted in blue. Apart from that, I don't think much else has changed. So, the plan is we're going to head... Oh, hello. Um, Head down to a fishing ground. Quite a close one, I think. We'll just go to the southern one. And we'll get ourselves out of here. So, one thing that I have read up on is in the comments on Steam is someone saying that actually boats aren't supposed to reverse particularly effectively, which kind of makes sense. So maybe I'm being a little bit harsh on the realistic side of things in that boats aren't supposed to reverse particularly effectively and they will tend to, above a knot or two, be all over the shop. The other thing I read on Steam is, sorry, it was on the Discord. I read about the graphics setting. Apparently, it was causing a big problem. Is it's set on medium, so I've actually set my graphics setting to high. I'm hoping this computer can cope with it. But just having a look, it actually does look a little bit better. I'm still getting some of those little flashing lights, but lines, but not to the extent I was. Yeah, so still as it used to be, but it's sort of improved with big solid bars, if you remember. That seems to have vanished a little bit. Okay, so we're clearing our port now. We'll see if the performance suffers too much in Judders. I will probably have to reduce the settings again. Right, so as always, so what we'll do, we'll set the I don't know how to make that move up and down now. Yeah, see the problem is when I'm using my keys, it's actually changing my throttle setting. I'm sure it didn't used to do that. Just have to be careful of that if I'm making some adjustments on the map. If I'm navigating, I can see that going wrong. Right. No, if it's closed. So we're under navigation, and while the boat's doing that, crikey, that's a bit loud. I will probably have to turn that down a little bit. I wonder if that's changed if you're in the cabin. No, not really. Right. I've said what we'll do. We're going to bait a few pots. Get them ready. I think I've got a mixture of 1,000, 1,500 hooks as I had before, 2,500 and 1,000. So let's just bait up what we can. Okay, so I've baited up a few pots there, ready to lay some lines down. And as always, what I'll do is I will skip forward. Yeah, we'll skip forward to the site, and I will meet up with you guys there. See you soon. Okay, so we've arrived. So what we'll do is start throwing some lines over. I'm not sure why this thing keeps cutting its idling at the moment. Oh, it's because it reached the end of the navigation. Yeah, so it's been a while since I've done a video. It's been a couple of weeks. I apologise for that. I have been away, and I had my own encounter with the lesser weevil fish. I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of that, but it's like stepping on broken glass, and then after 15 minutes my foot swelled up like a balloon. The solution, hot water, but yeah, still swollen now. It's been over a week since I got stung, and yeah, very painful. Not something I'd want to repeat, to be honest. But that happens when you go wading in the territory of a fish that doesn't have a swim bladder. So, what I think I'll do is I'm looking at my map. That's switched out. We'll turn it round and lay another line down the other way. So we'll just alternate the lines up and down. Oh no, that's not come out yet. Sorry, that's just the interim one. what I'll do again is I'll lay a few lines and then I will skip forwards to lay another last line, and then we'll pull them in and see where we are. That's 3,314 feet. Okay. Huh. That seems a very long line. I thought that was 1,000 line I put on there. We'll have a look. Well, that looks more like a 2,500 line. Maybe I got that wrong. Anyway, we'll turn round and we'll go back at it. Yep, so it's 3,000 foot, so put the longer line on there. That does seem quite long. It's been a while since I've done longline fishing, so maybe I'm just not remembering right, but I'm sure we didn't have that many between 1,000 hook. Well, that would just be the 2,500 hook. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. We'll have a look. Okay. Okay, we'll see how long this 8,000 feet. It's probably because I changed this. This is now shown in feet instead of meters. I bet that's what it is. Okay, I'll just bait up a few of these again. They seem to be moving, these fish seem to be moving a lot faster than before. Very strange. So I don't know if you're supposed to predict where the fish are moving to and lay your nets ahead so they arrive about 12 hours, or whether you lay it where the marker is. I don't think any of that's implemented yet, so I don't think it really matters. But it'd be interesting to see the relevance of that. At the moment, there's nothing on the sonar. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll lay the rest of the lines and I'll jump ahead till we're ready to pull them in. So we'll see you real soon. Okay, so we're back. We've just laid 10 lines, a mixture of 1,000 and 2,500 hooks. So what we're going to do, obviously the weather's started to get a little bit worse. We'll rest. I'm going to rest, I think, 8 hours. That's 4 o'clock. Yeah, I think we rest about 8 hours. 12. Maybe do 7. Okay, that's light enough. And the weather's improved, which is even better. So we've got a couple here. Again, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to pick up every single line. See, before we do that, let's just make sure my hook isn't where I need it to be. So the only way you can rearrange this stuff in the inventory is you move it to the company, move it to the company, and when you go to the company, if you order it back, it will go to a first available slot. And what I have to do, actually I want that knife to be quite handy as well, so I'll just move this to the company, and then move that back to the player, move that back to the player, and you can see we've now got the steel hook where we want it to be. Makes it much easier because we can use the keypad just to instantly select it. So let's get onto this first hook. It's going to be a lot easier, I would imagine, now that we've got the automatic hauler. That gets us on that. So should just push this side. Come on. Yep. It says start hauling N. Jump. And then what I actually do now is I can just use the stairs because it does give you a little bit of extra time just to get to it. Select 2, and we're just in time to pick up the first fish. And you can see we're getting a bonus for each one because we've got the fancy hook. That will be it. Nope, we've got one more to come on. Yeah, that's it. Right, so we get on to the next one. Yeah, so with the automatic haul it's so much easier. In a way it's a shame they don't put that onto these smaller boats because I think the smaller boats are actually more difficult. I actually never found hauling on this big boat particularly difficult. So hopefully they will find a way to introduce it to the tier 1 and 2 fishing vessels. I think we've got one more to come in off this line. Yep, that's fine. What we'll do is send this all down to the lower part. We'll quickly pop down there. Huh. That's unusual. Let's see what happens if I transfer the fish. So that, I don't know why that suddenly appeared there. It wasn't there last time. Oops. And of course, having the top grade gutting knife, I don't think makes the actual gutting procedure any easier. Oh, I think I've messed that one up, but we'll have a go. It doesn't make it any easier, like it gives you a bigger radius. I just think you just get more of a bonus. That's my understanding. I might be wrong. Certainly doesn't look like it gives you more generous margin of error. Considering we've got bait for cod, we're not actually catching a lot of cod here. Again, I'm hoping the fishing will get a little bit more love. I actually preferred the way they used to do it in Bering Sea, when it was just rather icons. It was an actual zone that you actually had to discover. Okay, let's get this one done. That would be pretty good in multiplayer. 2 players down here getting the fish. Okay, and then final bit of a process, as always, getting in the storage bin, catfish. And I wonder if eventually we might even have a situation where you actually have to throw some of the smaller fish back over, or I don't know, that would be kind of good. Or even as another player I saw suggest that you can catch the smaller fish and then transfer it into bait for the larger fish. Yeah, see, I think this was cod on the end here, and we've actually only caught 1 cod, but never mind. Right, that's all done. So, as I said, what we'll do is we'll skip forward to picking up the last net, and I will catch up with you then. Okay, so we're just approaching the last marker. Don't really need the wipers on anymore. I'd love to just be able to lean out a little bit more. Okay, let's get this down in my box. And okay, and our fish has disappeared. It had moved up to that rack and now it seems to have gone, so that's good, because the last time that happened the only way I could actually get rid of a fish was to sell the boat and buy a new one. I was kind of holding my money because I wanted to save up for a per sign boat, but obviously that's not gonna happen till full release. I don't know if anyone who watches this actually plays this game and indeed plays multiplayer. If you do, I don't know if you can help me out. I'm not sure how multiplayer works. My understanding is that when you enter a multiplayer game, all of your assets are diverted to the company, which is okay, but then when you leave that company, you're just given 50,000. I mean, is that true? Because obviously if that's the case, if I ever do multiplayer, I'm going to want to start a second profile, because I don't want to lose all of my single player process just because I go into a random game to help someone out, which is kind of what I'd like to do. I actually don't mind going on board and helping out other ships. I'd like to have a go at it. I think it could be quite good. But anyway, so if anyone knows how it works in any detail, I'd really appreciate you letting me know in the comments below. Unfortunately, none of my friends really are that interested in this particular sort of game. And I'd love to do I'd love to do a video just showing how a multiplayer works as well. I think that might help out a lot of folk, but yeah, something to consider. Yeah, mainly pollock on this voyage. There we go. Oh, let me just get this stored. I left some fish out from the last line I picked up. Maybe that was cod. I think that might be cod, in which case this line was a lot better. Fantastic. Also, I don't know how anyone feels, but I kind of think it'd be good that once you've done the fish, you had to sort of maybe get a mop and just sort of clean the deck down, otherwise you get a cleanliness penalty. Maybe you don't get as good a yield as you could have. Alright, so that's the last line in. What we'll do then is we're going to head back to Rost and I will sell this fish and see how much we've made. I'll see you back at port. So here we are on another glorious day. We've just arrived back at port and let's see how much money we made on this little trip. Not bad, 2 million. I can live with that, and I believe the good thing is the sell all fish button is working again, so that's going to be a lot quicker. So Yeah, brilliant. Back a little bit rusty, but I'm back. I thought I actually had those boys with 2 flags in light. I don't know how many of them I've got. Might have to upgrade all my boys. I'll have a look into that another time. Anyway, as always, thanks very much for watching. If you want to leave any comments below, as I said, about multiplayer or anything else, any questions, please feel free. And yeah, hopefully I will see you all again soon. Take care of yourselves till next time. Bye.